Thank you, President Marion. You're probably aware that the club is undertaking a climate change project, and as this is a part of our commitment to community services. And it will have two components, the first of which is to get our club formally certified as carbon zero. And the second one is to provide information to our members so you personally can go about trying to reduce your carbon footprint. And this is all pretty important because the way that we will have a big impact on this is through our ability to influence others. So if we become carbon zero, we'll expect to use that to influence other Rotary clubs and like organisations to follow suit, using us as the case study. And as you as individuals, with your knowledge then of what is good for climate change and what is not, would expect you to use your influence and your networks, your personal networks and business networks, to then provide an example to others to follow suit. And with all that moral authority behind us, we'll be in a very good position to influence institutions and governments, which is where the big impact occurs. So anyway, what I'm going to be talking about here is the second part of that project, which is all about what you personally can and do to contribute to a reduction in your carbon footprint. And I'm going to be talking about four key areas: transport, energy, food and waste. So let's start off with transport. Travel. So look, everyone get on your feet. Come on, let's stand up. This is going to be an active session. So anyone who walked or cycled to work today from your home can sit down. If you took public transport or carpool to get here, just put a coin in the box and sit down. The rest of you can afford to put a note in the box. Yeah. Right. I want everyone who's travelled in a plane in the last year to stand up, please. If that was just a domestic flight, you can put a coin in the box and sit down. Whoa, look at all these international travel. The rest of you can well afford to put a note in. Okay, so this is the sort of example and guidance we'll give you, and you can see it's under red, amber and green. Bad, middling to good. And so the key determinants here are your type of travel, your mode of transport, and travel avoidance options, like telecommuting and teleconferencing rather than getting in your car or your airplane to travel around. So you can put yourself on that list and figure out how you can change yourself to move off towards the right. This information will get published probably with a little bit more tickling up on our website, so it's there as available for guidance. The next area is energy. So let's use a bit of energy. Everyone back on your feet again. Okay, so everyone who's got a fully insulated house or apartment and you make use of solar power, you can sit down. If you use heat pumps for heating, you can just put a coin in the box and sit down. Whoa, so the rest of you, I presume, are using oil and coal and open fires for heating, so you can well afford to put a note in the box and sit down.
Electricity is 80% renewable.
And all you investors out there, anyone who has an investment in an extraction or production company involved with oil or gas, please put a note in the bin. So here's the guidance. Again, you know, poor, middling, good. And the key determinants driving that are your type of heating, your level of insulation, efficiency of your appliance and lights, and the way that you invest your money. Okay, so the next one is food. Okay, you've just had a big tuck-in, so let's use a bit more energy. Everyone back on your feet, please. Okay, if you're a vegetarian and grow your own vegetables, you can sit down. Or you guys have got some real opportunities. If you eat a balanced diet with limited red meat and dairy products, and you eat everything on your plate, you can sit down. Well, so the rest of you good livers, you can put a coin in the box and sit down. And just as a last little element on this one here, any of you that use plastic bags rather than reusable bags for carrying your groceries, you better get used to it. You can make a donation now. We're talking about past activity because in the future you won't be allowed to legally. So.
The data is wrong. 357 times more carbon produced to produce a reusable bag than a single-use plastic bag.
You've got to follow it all the way through. It's all right, we'll have a debate with you on that one. Okay, so here again is the guidance from, you know, what's not good, what is middling and what is good, and this is mainly around the greenhouse costs of either the production and transportation of the product, the level of wastage involved from either overproduction or just poor disposal, and the packaging options used around it, both of the product and when you're doing your own shopping. So those are the areas where you do have an opportunity to improve. Okay, we're on to waste.
Madam President, I move an extension of time.
I've got 10 minutes. So back on your feet again. Okay, this requires a little bit of truthfulness as well. All of you who only buy what is essential and necessary to meet your needs and recycle and compost anything which is left over can sit down. Okay, if you're a prudent shopper and never dispose of anything other than green waste at the city dump, you can pay a coin and sit down. And the rest of you can put a note in the box and sit down. Okay, last call. If you don't use a keep cup for your takeaway coffee, or use plastic bags and containers several times before recycling them, you clean out your pocket and put everything else back in the bin. So here's the waste guidance. And the key thing there is your level of purchasing versus need, the level of recycling, and the level of reuse. So remember, recycling and reuse is good. So the last thing is, as a responsible citizen, if you've had a look at that and you do your own analysis of what you're contributing to greenhouse gases, and you feel as a responsible citizen and Rotarian that you should be trying to do something about it, you can do offsets, okay, like planting trees, or if you're really keen, you can purchase carbon offsets. Thank you, Madam Chair.